Bitcoin has just shot up to $57,000, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking the questions, has this changed everything? Are we looking at a completely different state in the market? I wonder if the Fear and Greed Index has also updated this as well. No, it hasn't yet, but I think that we could be looking at something pretty good here, and I want to break this down for you because I like seeing that Bitcoin managed to find support here. You guys know just yesterday I told you I'm looking for reasons to become bullish. I don't think that this is it, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, but it is still a good sign. I still have some concerns that I've got. The key thing that I want you guys to keep in mind right now is I think a lot of people are going to be waking up to this, like in Europe and Asia and stuff like that, feeling relief. This is a time right now where the market has been dumping down so much, and we don't get huge, what we like to call fuck you candles in this space often, right? We don't get this often, so I think a lot of people are going to be finding relief, but we're only at resistance levels right now. Bitcoin managed to break into this area right here. There is a real possibility that this becomes resistance. This is not even the concerning area, though. The real concerning area for me is going to be what's happening between these two boxes, because this was a huge area of support. But it might not be a good area of resistance if Bitcoin manages, it might turn into a good area of resistance if Bitcoin manages to rise up here, which can become a bit of a problem for Bitcoin. And when we consider what I showed you just yesterday, which is this longer term image of Bitcoin actually potentially getting ready to break out hugely to the upside, we are at resistance. So from a lot of different directions right now, this pump is good, but it doesn't mean that we're out of the woods. It's potentially a good first sign of amazing things to come, for sure. And I'm not going to discredit that. But my job here is also to put this into a healthy perspective, because you better believe that if a lot of people are going to be feeling relief off of this rally, if a lot of people are literally going to have a breath of fresh air because Bitcoin managed to get a huge series of pumps here. Oh no, we did get this. Oh, this was like right when I went to sleep. Okay. If that's the case, that a lot of people are going to be feeling that, well, then we are looking at potentially seeing a relief rally. And in that case, I am a little bit confused as to how the Fear and Greed Index is still quite low. I guess that a lot of people, are going to be split in terms of believing that either this is a real rally or this is a fake one. But the key thing to keep in mind right now is that this is resistance. So, first of all, very, very cool that this came directly after my last video where I was telling you guys that I'm looking for reasons to be bullish. That timing has been phenomenal, and it has been in this market continuously for a very, very long time. I got to show you guys what was going on right here, which is an illustration of where I was telling you guys on this little downtrend since Bitcoin was setting all-time highs pretty much, that we could find resistance. I was telling you that we could be dropping from here. We could find resistance right here at 59, and then again at 59, and then again anticipated a breakdown of this huge descending triangle. And then I was in a short position, which all VIP members knew about, and I even closed all of it in a profit, made a nice profit on that position, secured a 32% profit at most, but the rest of my position was closed at smaller numbers. So still very, very cool indeed. Just playing this entire move almost like I knew exactly what was going to happen next. So that is very nice. We've seen some huge profits from VIP members as well, not just in that, not just in this little market swing down, but also just overall. Take a look at this, guys. Our 68% discount that we were running did expire. Take a look at this. This was our final warning that we put inside of 4Flies Gold, but we told you it is still open just for the next few hours or so, as people coming out of Thanksgiving and things like that, getting back to work finally. This was posted yesterday on a Sunday, kind of getting back in the swing of things. If you did miss everything, then we kept it open just for you guys here. I will do it for one final day because it's a Monday. So if you haven't already gotten in, now is your chance. It expires the moment we've gone through the backlog. We still haven't. There's been a ridiculous number of inquiries. Let me just check the number in VIP. Yeah, we're so close to 1,300 members. We must have seen, I don't know, a lot of people joining. I can't even speculate on the number because I don't follow that stuff anymore. But if you do want to take advantage of this, take a look at what some people have been saying. Insane gains, $1,700 to $1,800 above his VIP investment. Absolutely amazing stuff. This is huge. You need to be in right now. This person making back his VIP sum, another 350% profit. Super casual, very, very impressive stuff. I'll talk about this all a little bit later. I want to get back to the Bitcoin analysis just for now. I do like the fact that we got this pump. I think that it does shake up the market a little bit. What it does is it instantly breaks a lot of key resistance for us. When we get pumps like this, I almost see it like, you got this meme, Jesus, take the wheel. Where God literally comes down and helps you. That's how I see pumps like this, right? Because on its own, I don't think Bitcoin would have potentially had the strength to do this. But what we could be looking at now is Bitcoin potentially being jump started and then being given a little bit of energy to start tackling the higher levels. Because it managed to break resistance right here at the $54,000 level. This is an area that we were trading sideways in. I drew this kind of rising wedge for you guys a couple of days ago. It didn't quite get conformed to, but the whole idea was that Bitcoin was pretty much just kind of trading sideways. And so we had this established resistance at the high $54,000 level, and we managed to break it through this pump. We also then managed to break the next resistance at 56, which is really, really good, and it does put us back in this range now. And I think that this has a good chance of being the low, especially because, like I showed you with this chart right here, no, not this chart, with this chart, Bitcoin did manage to fall into that final green box that I drew. I was illustrating this as being the big area of support. A lot of good analysts are also looking at the same thing. I know that Crypto Kirby, I mention him a lot on this channel. He's one of my favorite traders and analysts ever. He was also talking about this exact level, which I thought was very cool. His range was a lot tighter than mine, so I don't think we entered this range on his chart, but he's showing nearly the same thing. And it is just that Bitcoin has fallen down into this relative zone, pretty much where Bitcoin previously formed a massive swing high and got a strong rejection. And so it makes sense that we have now back tested this level as support, potentially getting ready to rally higher. I don't want to make that conclusion yet that we are going to $70,000 and beyond. But obviously, if we did, you guys know my sentiment, right? I think that if Bitcoin is able to get a significant breakout above the all-time high, we're also probably going to double it. And at this point, that now puts us at $130,000 to $140,000, which is ridiculous. I don't want to rub myself off to those price predictions just yet. We're too far away from it at the moment, but I think it is cool, and that's why I think there's a decent chance that the low might be in for this trend. We have hit the Ichimoku cloud, which is absolutely great. We've bounced off this box, like I said. We're actually now out of the cloud, so we've had a confirmed breakout from this cloud now, which is absolutely phenomenal. Again, happening exactly as predicted. The short-term time frames, I was still a little bit more bearish. However, one of the key things I was mentioning is that we didn't have a lot more room to drop. I was telling you that basically the lowest we could go would be 52, maybe 51. But there really wasn't much more space for Bitcoin to drop. And just before this big breakout, by the way, I know that this is a manipulation move. I know that this was a fat-fingered buy order, and that's purely because Bitcoin, just before this pump, it saw a quick dip to the downside where it actually broke support levels, right? It actually fell down to the low $53,000 range even on this chart, but on other charts it dropped down to the mid 53s. And the reason that's important is it means that essentially what's happened here is these are bots that were pushing the market lower to test the liquidity to see how many people would get screwed in this market if we dropped. Clearly the answer was not many, so the price came back up, and then the next thing that price did was it targeted the upside, and it kept saying that more liquidations were coming in, and so this is more of a liquidity grab. And this is why trading in these markets, if you don't know what you're doing, is extremely bloody dangerous, right? A lot of people don't know this stuff. A lot of people don't know how these bots function, so they get screwed by them. My job here with this YouTube channel, and especially with 4Flies VIP, is to show you how I'm navigating those things, because I've taken the time to study this stuff years ago, and it's always exactly the same thing, where these bots are going to look to screw over the most amount of people in the shortest space of time as possible, so that you guys get liquidated and your fees go back to the exchanges. It sucks, it's disgusting, it's a bad practice, but it happens, and saying that it's a bad thing is not going to fix it just for now. And so I think being aware of it and positioning ourselves out of this line of fire is extremely important. And of course, that is something I'm doing inside of VIP. Now guys, like I said, if you want to take advantage of it, we have been blowing up recently. We've been making every call correct right here, which is extremely impressive. Really, really nice testimonials coming in, not just now, but also previously in this market. I mean, VIP has been running for like 4 years, a very, very long time. It's been running for something like that in some capacity. And if you want to jump in to see exactly what we're all about, then click on the first link in the description right now. This is going to take you to my free 4Flies Gold channel, where I give you more analysis completely free of charge. And then when you're there, click on the bottom, the @4Flies button at the bottom of any post inside of 4Flies Gold, and then click on send message to ask me how to join 4Flies VIP, and I'll give you all the information right there within like 5 or 10 minutes. If it's not me responding, it'll be a member of my team, and we got people working on my account around the clock, so it's well worth reaching out just until we've gone through this backlog, and that's it. You're not going to be able to get into this sale anymore. So if you are just getting back to your computer now and you haven't heard of this whole sale that we've been running these past couple of days, it is minus 68% off, biggest discount we've ever done, literally the lowest prices we've ever done for VIP. It's so low that when VIP first opened, this is actually, the yearly price is actually the same price as the monthly price right now because of how much Bitcoin has gone up. So definitely take advantage of this, and especially with the yearly plan, you're getting a full tailored plan of a phone call with me straight away. We're going to identify strengths and weaknesses, things like that you could have done better, that you have done well in your previous trades, and then we're going to work on them moving forward. And we're going to call again after a month and again after a few more months, depending on what you like. It's all up to you how many calls we do and when we do them. Window cleaners behind me, so if you want to jump in that and you want to be able to take advantage of it, again, it is only these steps. This is the only way to ask me how to join 4Flies VIP, so please go ahead and do that. But again, moving us back to the charts right here, what I want to look at now is actually what the next steps for Bitcoin could be. I've already talked to you about how I think the low is in, which is absolutely fantastic. Where can we go from here? So we need to be able to keep pushing these upsides, but like I said before, the only thing we have above us right now is resistance. We haven't even hit resistance on the 4-hour time frame yet with the Ichimoku cloud. Take a look at this, right? We haven't even reached the resistance yet. I think that if Bitcoin manages to trade sideways a little bit, we could potentially enter this resistance, and this could become a problem for Bitcoin. But for now, we still have a little bit more upside potential, up to about $59,000. If we do get rejected there, then we would be looking at potentially continuing that descending triangle, so that would not be good. Let me draw this out for you guys, right? So if Bitcoin manages to rise a little bit higher and then gets a rejection, this descending triangle is still in play, and we could end up getting a second breakdown. I really don't think that's going to happen, but again, my job here is to tell you about what's possible and then assign probabilities to them, because the market is not about definites. I'm not trying to be a fortune teller here. I'm just telling you what I think is more likely to happen, which is exactly why yesterday I started becoming very vocal about why I want to become bullish in this market now, and I'm so glad that we are getting a decent start to that at the moment. Now, if you didn't manage to watch that video or whatever the case was, it's probably because you're not subscribed. Go ahead and fix that right now. If you enjoy these videos, you find them useful, if you think that I'm delivering good, healthy analysis covering both sides so that you can stay well informed in this market, do me a favor, smash up those likes, smash up the subscribe button, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Drop a comment in the comment section down below, letting me know what you think about these videos as well. Just any quick comments. I read them all. I do not respond to them all, but I read them all for sure. I am a young YouTuber. I have no other choice but to read them. My curiosity gets the better of me, so don't worry, anything you write does get read, and please go ahead and do that for the algorithm as well if you find this stuff useful. But Bitcoin moving up now, I think, would be a pretty, I mean, look, the best thing Bitcoin could do now is probably to move up or come down and back test this level and then move up again. The reason I'm saying to back test this level is that it should have been resistance. It didn't act as resistance, but if we at least find support here, that would be really good for the market to then send us potentially a little bit higher. Can you turn on the AC, please? And then we could end up rising into this resistance range. But again, the issue is there's a lot of resistance piling up in the same place right now. We've got the 4-hour 200 MA 200 moving average you know, potentially acting as resistance right here. We've got the Ichimoku cloud right here. We're going to have the daily EMA ribbon right in this range. Oh, it's actually a little bit below this range now, potentially right where we are at the moment. I'm wondering where the 4-hour EMA ribbon is. Oh, actually we broke 4-hour momentum resistance, so we only have daily momentum resistance ahead. This is kind of why I was saying this is almost like God helping us with a jump start cable or something, because this has instantly put us above quite a few resistance indicators and things like that on the short-term time frames at the moment. The 1-hour time frame, for example, will also show us this, where, I mean, you know, we were previously getting these rejections on the 1 hour, and then we immediately just pumped right through it. Same for the Ichimoku cloud. And so, you know, with these kind of parameters, we have definitely shown good signs that the market could be ready to move up. But again, it's all about how do we tackle these next areas of resistance, because this doesn't mean anything if Bitcoin gets rejected at 60K again. And you guys have heard me talking extensively about why I think that's a real possibility. This $60,000 level with this light green box has had such good support, has provided such good support for this market, right? I mean, it has been a very, very strong zone for the market. It acted as resistance once, twice, and then thrice. Maybe not over here, but we consolidated here, right? So again, not the most inviting of areas as we're approaching it from below, because we know it's probably going to be resistance again. And at that, because it was strong support, I would anticipate that it's going to be strong resistance. And just for those of you who perhaps weren't watching the channel back then, or if you want a reminder, the reason I'm saying that this area was such good support is that it held Bitcoin up right here for 23 days. That's quite a long time. And we actually got quite strong moves off it. From the bottom of this range to the top, we were getting strong 7.7% bounces. And from the bottom of this range, well, from this range all the way up to brand new all-time highs, we were managing to get a nearly 15% pump off this level as well. And so definitely an extremely important support level in my opinion, really absolutely critical in my opinion. And I think that means we should be well aware of how this could be, you know, kind of potentially, you know, becoming a little bit of a problem for Bitcoin as it manages to, you know, kind of approach the same level again, potentially finding some resistance. And let's talk about what happens if that's the case. Well, if Bitcoin finds resistance in this range right here, kind of anywhere between 60,000 and the top of this range, which is 64, because this is a big area of resistance. You know, the main resistance I think we're going to find is going to be below, you know, at 60K and maybe in the middle, but I think the main challenge will be just 60 to 61,000. You know, what could happen from there is we get a rejection here, we trade back down to this support level, which we've just broken at $56,000, and then potentially start rallying up again. I think that would be the healthiest thing that Bitcoin can do, because that would essentially be telling me that we're making one move to the upside, making a nice correction down, and then we're making another move to the upside and getting ready to break out. That would be the healthiest thing possible. You know, another potential scenario that I see happening is that we hit this level and we just instantly drop back down for brand new lows. I don't think we're doing that, but again, it's a possibility. The reason I don't think we're doing that is because we've overcome so much resistance, and because we've actually been in a healthy correction. You know, I think that we're in a place where actually the market, like I said, could have bottomed out. You know, one of the reasons I became convinced about this, especially after making my video yesterday, where I was telling you that I'm looking for an $80,000 Bitcoin now, is that I think a lot of people became really fearful of this drop that happened towards the $54,000 and $53,000 level. But the one thing I've kept on telling you guys, even while I was short-term bearish, I've kept on telling you guys I'm long-term bullish. I think that on the larger time frames, we're still in a really good place. And we can see that when we look at the Ichimoku cloud. We can see that when we look at the fear and greed index, and people are getting worried, but we've seen the same percentage drawdown now that we saw previously when Bitcoin dropped from 53 to 40K just back in September. Very recent price action. This is only going back like 2 months. So this is fresh in our memory. I don't think anybody, or you know, barely anybody watching this video right now, shout out to you if you're sticking around this long. I know that you really like the good quality content. I love you all. If you as in you're a connoisseur of good quality content if you've made it this far, because most people, they just can't concentrate for this long on such advanced concepts. I mean, I'm trying to bring them quite simply for you, but they are still advanced concepts. But anyway, the point is that Bitcoin had a strong drawdown right here of about 24%, but recently we've seen the same thing now, pushing us down by about 23%. So, you know, by all accounts, with one of the strongest signs I've been showing you on this chart when we zoom out, and this is so obvious to me, is that if we look at this on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has seen a nice leg to the upside, and then a nice leg to the downside, and then a nice leg to the upside, and then a nice leg to the downside, potentially indicating another move to the upside. It's just so clear to me. I showed it to you with the Elliott wave as well. And so look, like I'm saying, I think that we already had the pieces for this to start blowing up in a very bullish direction. And what really excites me about this right now is that because of having that energy, I don't think that, and considering that we're still in a bullish trend and we only had a correction, I don't think that Bitcoin needs to fall down to new lows. You know, if we did, that's when I would start becoming genuinely quite concerned, because that would show me that if we then swing back below and sweep this low, or even dropped anywhere close to this range, that would be what tells me that actually this market is pretty weak, because we've taken a really good situation and fucked it up. And that's where it gets very concerning. It's pretty much going to put me in the same place that I was at when Bitcoin was trading right here, and I was very bearish in the short term, like I said, like I showed you just with this post right here, expecting resistance all along these levels. Actually, there should be another arrow pointing directly to this, so that was done incorrectly. But you know, it would put me back in that kind of state of mind, because what we would be doing is turning a very bullish setup where we should be able to rise higher into something potentially not so strong anymore. And again, I want to be aware of these signs first so that I can trade them, because you guys have seen me trading this market recently. You've seen some of the big moves I've been making. I've also had some small losses as well, all controlled, completely fine and completely normal, doing well overall. And I plan on making more trades in this market, but the only way I can safely do that is by making sure that I'm always one step ahead. And of course, fortunately, we have been pretty much all the way here for quite a while now, for literally like a month. So extremely impressive. If you've been appreciating that on this YouTube channel, do me a favor and smash up the likes right now. If you have been enjoying this content and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and tick the bell. You know the deal. Let's take a look at some of the other coins as well. Let's take a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, still holding very strong, potentially in a bull flag formation. You know, I think that it is potentially getting ready to pump to the upside. Usually we don't consolidate at resistance for this long. Last time Ethereum was consolidating at resistance for about a day and a half, and this time we've been here for about 6 days. So significantly longer that Ethereum has managed to spend at resistance this time, and it's purely because of that I think we might be gathering the strength to see a blow off from here, which could turn into something very explosive. So I am keeping my eyes on this. You guys know that I bought my Ethereum back down over here and sold it over here. I didn't sell all of it, sold half of all of my Ethereum up over here, and I am looking at potentially rebuying it if we manage to cross above this line. And the reason for that, it's a very interesting one, which I broke down for VIPs in a lot of depth, because again, one of the things I'm doing, other than showing you guys in VIP exactly what I'm trading, is I'm explaining the real theories and thinking behind my big decisions. And one of those examples is I literally outlined it in extremely clear terms, very well thought out terms, why I was willing to sell my Ethereum up here and re-enter up here, which means that I'm losing all of this price action, which is roughly a 7% move, why I'm happy to sacrifice a further 7% profit in order to reduce my risk, what I would consider exponentially. And the whole reason for that is that, you see, at this right now, I'll just break it down for you guys now, because I've already done this for VIPs. And like I said, if you want to get in that 68% discount, I don't know how long it's going to take. Obviously, like I said, because it's Monday, if you haven't been to your computer now yet, now's your lucky day. You can get inside with this discount if you've been thinking about it for a while. These steps on screen, just pause the video now if you want to get in. You know, but I will I have already gone through this with VIPs. I'll just talk about it publicly now as well, because I think it's very interesting, and it's worth actually talking about this publicly. I think, with Bitcoin, with Ethereum trading down here against Bitcoin at 0.06 BTC per token, I was able to increase my Bitcoin holdings a lot. This doesn't look like a huge move. It's not a huge move. It's maybe like 16%. Let me just measure this. It's 20%. It's not that big. It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that big. But the key thing is I bought a lot of Ethereum here, and I was able to, actually ride a very nice gain on my Bitcoin holdings. But from there, by sacrificing the next kind of 7% of the move, I've actually been able to protect myself from Ethereum potentially seeing a strong correction and dropping back down to the 0.062 area. That's what happens at resistance levels, right? It just makes sense to be selling when we approach resistance. That's why I'm able to retain such a healthy perspective in these markets where everyone else is constantly losing their ground and not understanding what's going on. I'm just looking at resistance levels, but sometimes we don't get rejected at resistance levels, right? Previously, what we had right here was a little bit of a move down, and it wasn't huge. It was nice, don't get me wrong. It was fairly substantial. We dropped down by about 7%, so I mean, it's okay, but we then recovered back up. So it's not every time that we get strong rejections at resistance levels like we did right here, or like we did right here, or like we did right here. It doesn't happen every time. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But if it does, and if it did happen here, and Ethereum was now trading all the way back down over here, I would have protected myself from a huge drop. I protected myself from a potential 7% drop. That drop would have gone up to a 16% drop. I would have lost everything that I worked to make by that trading and investment decision. I would have lost most of it if we fell back down to this level. So that's why I was willing to take profits here. And then if Ethereum, by some miracle, managed to show so much strength afterwards that it then breaks out, I'm going to lose the 7% that happens in between this range, but my risk of losing money if Ethereum drops falls down to basically zero, right? So what I've done here is I've protected myself from a loss by sacrificing a further gain, and I can re-enter this position with much less risk above this swing high if I feel comfortable, and that means I'm missing out on 7% of the move, but I'm getting back in for the next, and my next resistance level on this chart is all the way up at 0.085. I'm getting in for the next 10%, which means that I've done a 20% move here. I'm doing a further 10% right here, and the math doesn't compound just 20% plus 10%. It's a little bit better than that if I demonstrate this to you in a calculator right now, just to show you guys the importance of these small numbers. There is a reason that I occasionally show you guys, when people are making relatively small profits inside of Forflies VIP as well. I don't know where the most recent post about that is. I just lost it. Bam, right here. This person making another 20% profit. Very impressive. What is this happening? What's happening right here? Let me just read this. This person. Oh yeah, so this person buying a Bentley with profits. Extremely impressive. I remember that message. But what I want to show you right here is how the math kind of adds up for this, right? So if you're getting a 20% move on your first $100, you're up to $120. But next time you're making that 10% profit, that's going to be on top of the previous gain that you already made. So now I'm making that 10% profit on top of $120, not $100, and so I'm actually 32% ahead, even though I've only had a 20% and then a 10% move. And I know that extra 2% doesn't sound very interesting, but when you look at this with bigger numbers, it turns into something very powerful. So for example, I got my same $100, but I made 40% profit. That takes me up to 140. And then let's say I make a further 30% profit on top of that. You can start to see how now this becomes a little bit more powerful. I'm up to 182%. So by applying a 40% profit and then a 30% profit, I'm actually up by 82% overall. This is just how the power of compounding returns works. I don't know if it was Albert Einstein that actually said this or not, but I'm reminded of this quote right now. He who understands it makes a lot of money. I'm paraphrasing massively right now, but he who doesn't will pay it back. basically the point is understand compounding. If you don't, you're going to be looking for lottery tickets in this market, and you're going to be doing unsustainable, unrealistic things. And if you respect your money, you wouldn't be doing that. So this is something extremely important to really very strongly internalize and keep in mind, I think, in this market. This is turning into a bloody long video, so I'm probably going to wrap it up right now and make another update for you all later today. If you did find this video useful, then make sure you stick around for the next one. Altcoins not actually dropping by much, which is quite interesting as well. So yeah, there we go. I think that Bitcoin's in a good place. It's definitely not out of the woods yet. It has so much of an uphill battle to fight at the moment, but this is the initial jumpstart that I think it really needed to potentially tackle those levels. If we drop below 56 again, I'm going to be very worried. If we drop below 54, 53, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna become a permanent bear. I'm gonna sell a bunch of Bitcoin. Fortunately, I don't think either of those things are gonna happen, but if they did, now you know. As we approach resistance levels, I want to see how we respond to them. Do we consolidate in them and then break up again? Do we hit them, get a strong rejection, find support, and then come back up? Or do we just kind of, I don't know, just form like a kind of ascending triangle that looks a little bit like this, where our lows are getting higher and our resistance stays the same, and then eventually we get a break? I'm going to have to wait and see. So that's what I'm looking at right now in this market. If you found this video useful, you know what to do. If you're looking for a place to trade, you guys already know Bybit is the best place to be. And by using my link in the description down below, you're going to get up to $3,500 completely free of charge just by making your first deposit. So signing up will take you about a minute. Making your first Bitcoin deposit also doesn't take long, maybe 5 minutes, and you're going to get up to $3,500 completely free of charge just for doing that. So definitely take advantage of it. This is hands down my favorite exchange, and it's the only one that I've been using for quite a long time now. So definitely check them out. And finally, one more time, because I don't know how much longer this is going to last, but I know that you guys are loving this. It is still running with our massive Black Friday 68% offer. I mean, results have been amazing. People making back their sums sometimes very quickly. Sometimes, by the way, I gotta be clear with you guys, not everybody pays off their VIP sums. Some people join and they massively screw up and they become even worse than they were before, right? If you're buying this as a lottery ticket because you think I'm gonna do miracles for you, that's not gonna happen. You're still gonna have to put in your own work. But other people who are coming in ready to really pay attention, ready to use what we're giving you, because we give you so much, and you can find out exactly what the list of benefits are by clicking these links on screen. If you're ready with that kind of mindset, you're going to be okay. You're probably going to do quite well, I think. You're getting absolutely everything that I'm offering. You're getting all the information on every trade I'm making, where I'm entering, where I'm taking profits, why I'm taking profits at those levels, why I'm entering at those levels. You're getting the real theory behind it, and then updates on how I'm navigating that position. So am I taking profits prematurely because I'm worried? Am I moving my stop loss down late because I'm very confident? And I'll tell you why I'm doing those things. And then I'll also give you more analysis on the rest of the markets, the other altcoins that I want to trade, why I want to trade them, why I'm deciding not to, because I'm an extremely conservative, generally quite safe trader. So you know, I'll tell you why I'm doing those things as well. And it all compounds into an extremely powerful learning experience. And probably the best part, in my opinion, is that you're also going to get the Four Flies Academy course, which is me teaching you everything I know about trading analysis from A to Z for free. With most VIP subscriptions, most people who jump into the VIP group are gonna get it completely free of charge, and we've had amazing feedback on it, guys. Take a look at this. This person right here, actually a high school teacher, mentioning that he's gone through the advanced trading course and really enjoying them. They've been organized in very good ways. It's simple to navigate. It is powerful content to be learning, and of course, when you kind of combine that with the package that you're getting already inside of Four Flies VIP, it becomes a very powerful experience right there. So final time, if you want to get in right here, now's your chance. But with that, I will see you all in the next video. Maybe I do a live stream later tonight. If you want me to do a live stream, drop it in the comments. Let me know that you want to see a live stream. I did promise you guys that I would make a bearish video telling you about Bitcoin's worst case scenario. I don't know if I'm still going to do it. I might still do that anyway. It's good to cover all bases, but I think because of this pump, Bitcoin's worst case scenario has just gotten a lot worse. It was already pretty bad if Bitcoin fell below 53, in my opinion. If it fell below 52, 51, I think if we do that now, after this pump, that's going to be bad, because yeah, and I just break this down for you. This is the nugget of information you're getting if you're sticking around with me past the 33-minute mark. My god, these videos are long, but you know that you're getting real powerful content in here. So if you stuck around with me this long, the reason that I think it would be even worse if Bitcoin fell below 53, let's say for simplicity now, versus if we did it just previously like this, but now that we're up, and if we fall back down, what that would mean to me is that this trend had a healthy chance at breaking up, but we failed it, and then we're dropping down. If, however, we just drop down from here and then we fell below, well, then I would be able to say that I think this market is overextended and it's trading too aggressively to the downside. I can't say that anymore because we had this pump. So it's precisely because Bitcoin had this pump that if it then shows weakness, it means that we had a chance and we failed it. Whereas if we just dumped down and we didn't have a chance to recover and we were just trading sideways and then we dropped down, I could say that the market is being too aggressive. Therefore, we should be able to reverse back quite quickly because we're having quite irrational price action, and usually that snaps back like a rubber band. I can't make that argument now that we saw this pump, which means that it would get even worse in my opinion. And it's all, it's something that we just have to watch play out. But like I said, I don't even think that's going to happen. I'm not expecting it, but of course I have to consider it. I have to take it into account just in case I am wrong. Anyway, guys, I have to go for this video. I just jumped out of bed and brushed my teeth really quickly. Didn't even do anything else just because I wanted to get this analysis to you. So let me go ahead and post this now so you can finally watch it. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye.